pure divine, and I lost myself.
What's up, everyone? Mystic Mike here with Behind the BS, Behind the Broadcasting Software, and today's guest is I Encourage. What's going on, Encourage?
What's up, man? It's good
Not
to
too
be
much.
here, man. It's good to be here.
Good to have you. Good to have you finally. What I'll get you to do first is intro yourself and say a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your streaming, and then we'll get into the nitty gritty.
Would do. I appreciate it, man. Just to let everybody know first, I just want to make this clear. This is the first time that you and me actually had a voice conversation.
That is right, too. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Oh, it's always been through Mixer.
Through social media, either Instagram or Twitter, you know?
Yeah.
And we finally connected, and I think it had a lot to do with the implementation of your podcast. So
definitely, which came with a little push from you as well.
That's good, man. That's good. That's why my name is Encourage, right?
Yeah, exactly. You encouraged me to do it.
That's awesome, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, let me tell you about myself. So I Encourage. You know, I've been streaming for technically February 28th of last year was when I first started.
Oh.
And yeah, technically I dove right in it because I remember when it was first Beam, and I remember looking at it on Xbox, and I just, you know, I looked at it there and there a few times, but I actually never had anybody to, you know, give me the push to try it. But I always was interested, you know, like you saw Twitch and all these things. And
yeah.
And one day I was like, you know what, let me just try it. Let me dive right in. You know, there's nothing that's going to hurt me. All I just going to learn is a new experience. I was like, let me just do it. So right now, technically, I'm only doing this part-time. You know, you probably know that I work full-time. You know, yeah. I have an 8 to 10 hours a day job. And then I actually taking one online class. So for me to be able to manage my time, you know, that's priority first. You know,
100%.
Streaming is like a fun hobby. And obviously, yeah, I want to grow it, but I know it's going to take time. And there's been a lot of, you know, things that I've learned through streaming, man. It's been a great experience overall, though, for sure, man.
Oh, definitely. I've seen too lately you've been doing some Halo competitions too, eh?
Yeah, man. So Halo is technically, you know, the game that I had the most passion for since it got released. And I remember when I first started streaming, I was jumping from many different games, and it was great because at first because of the excitement of streaming, I was trying many different games. And it was fine and all, and I got to meet a lot of, you know, really, really friendly individuals, good people, you know, and the relations that I built have been phenomenal.
Yeah.
But I kind of felt like, you know, I'm not really enjoying these games like I know I would do with Halo, because Halo, I've been playing Halo since the original.
Oh, nice.
So I decided, you know what, if I'm gonna, you know, I took a long break, you know, in September. I stopped streaming, you know, because I just had too much to do with college. I had 2 classes. I was being overwhelmed with work. I had a lot of projects going on, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna take a break. And I came back this year again in January, but I'm not gonna stop now. You know, obviously I'm gonna gradually increase the time that I want to stream, but I decided I'm coming back. I'm just gonna stick with a game that I love. You know.
Oh, you might as well. I mean, if it's the game you love, you're gonna have the most passion playing it, and people are gonna see that.
Yes, yeah, man, yeah.
And I mean, Halo. What's the new one coming out now? I won't lie to you. I never touched Halo until 3 years ago, but it's only because I was a Sony fanboy for the longest time. So
right.
Don't hate me.
No, of course not, bro. Everybody has their own preferences of video games, you know, they can play. And but you know, Halo Infinite is the new one that's coming out.
Right.
It should be coming out next year, especially when they're releasing a new PC version for the Halo Master Chief Collection. You know.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, I plan on eventually sitting down and because I got the Halo Master Chief Collection when I bought my Xbox One. And I planned on sitting down one day and just playing through it all, and like, because I hear the lore is like amazing.
Yes, dude. Let me tell you this: if you don't like competitive games,
I don't mind.
Just go for the campaign. Just go for the campaign because the campaign is phenomenal. Like the storyline.
Yeah.
Yes, especially the first video game, you know, for Halo CE, which is the original version. When I played that game, I was amazed because I used to play Nintendo 64 before, and I used to play like GoldenEye 007. I've always been really good into first-person shooters. And when I transitioned from Nintendo 64 with GoldenEye to Halo, I was like, okay, this is it. I'm sticking with Halo. That's it. And I played all the Halos, every single Halo.
Oh, nice. I'll have to sit down sometime. And some of them are co-op, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
I'll have to-
That's pretty much every one of them is a co-op. Yeah.
oh, really? Oh, I'll have to tee up with you then and maybe get you to carry me through.
Let's do it, man. Whenever you're ready, man. We'll get you through it.
Will sound good. We'll probably try to set something up once things settle down with the baby, because we have a lot of family visiting over the next 2 months here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's always good times with the family, man. It's, you know,
Oh, yeah.
I have nieces, so the gatherings with the family is always, you know, one of those things that you don't get to experience very often, so you got to take advantage of those times.
Exactly. Yeah, my dad's flying down tomorrow for his first time ever flying, and only his second time visiting us where we are, because he drove here once, but it's like it took him 3 days to get here.
Oh,
and
wow.
Yeah, and he was like, next time I'm flying, he's like, I don't care if I've never flown before. And then as soon as he found out that she was born, he's like, all right, flight's booked, I'm coming down. I'm like, oh, awesome. All it took was a granddaughter.
Yeah, listen, I traveled to Miami, and that's where my family lives.
Yeah.
And it's 15-hour drive. I've done it twice. I'm never doing that again.
It's long. I drive 12 hours like once a month just to see my son. Like 12 hours there, 12 hours back.
My goodness, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I commend you for that, dude. You have to have a lot of patience for that, man.
Oh, it's so boring too, because it's the drive through the prairies. It's like I zone out and I wake up and I'm like, oh, I'm already past the prairies. Where'd the last 10 hours go?
Yeah. Thankfully, we got podcasts that we can listen to now.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. That's probably what I'll be doing, is listening to it and taking little points out and seeing what I have to fix and what I need to add and whatnot.
Yeah, that's always good to, entertain yourself, even when you're teaching yourself new things. So
Exactly. Well, we'll jump right into the first question. It's kind of my go-to to open things up and set everyone at ease. But I mean, I think the last conversation we've had a little bit here, it's we're pretty at ease now. But I'll ask it anyway because it's a fun one.
Okay.
What's your favorite go-to order at your favorite local restaurant?
Dude, I'm gonna be quite honest with you. I'm not really into American food that much. I'm Hispanic, by the way. I'm from Venezuela, and my dad is from Peru. My mom's from Nicaragua. So all that food, you don't get that here. I live in North Carolina, so you get a lot of Americanized food. So it's one of those things, that I put myself in a situation. Let me just go out there and just try different things.
Yep.
And I came across this pizza place. It's called Mellow Mushroom. And it's gourmet pizza. It's by far the best pizza I've had ever. And technically, the best pizza that I've had there is called the red skin potato pizza. And it has bacon. It has a special pink sauce.
Yeah.
And it has red skin potato, man, all over the pizza. I mean, a lot of people have never experienced that, but if you ever come down to the eastern side, I know they have one in Tennessee. They have one, I think, in Georgia, and obviously here in North Carolina, and one in Florida as well. So,
nice.
If you ever go to the East Coast, make sure you look up Mellow Mushroom.
It sounds really familiar. I've been to Georgia once.
Okay.
So is it like thick cut potato, or is it just like thin, like the skin kind of?
Actually, they put little chunks. They put little chunks of potatoes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It's special, man. It's special.
I definitely would try that. I love pizza and I love trying new things, so I would.
It's a little steep price. You're paying for a whole large pizza. You're paying about $24, but it's worth it.
Man, that's like a normal price for a large pizza here. And that, like a large pepperoni would be about 20 some bucks.
Oh, damn.
Well, that's Canadian though, so it'd be about probably like $10 American. So it might equal out to the same actually.
Right. I mean, obviously, if you go like a Pizza Hut or something like that, Domino's, you probably be paying like $15 for a larch pizza, but it's not the same quality. It's not the same quality.
No, not at all. Yeah. I used to work at Domino's, so I know what the quality is like. It's perfect if Domino's is listening and wants to sponsor someone. But
is that instant gratification for your belly? It's satisfying.
Exactly. I will say this though: the dough, we made the dough fresh every day, and the everything was cut up fresh every day. So I will say that, like everything, at least the store I worked at, when they say everything's made fresh, everything was made fresh that day. Like any dough we didn't use that day was either, I think they donated it actually to one of the shelters, the one I was at. So you always got fresh dough every day.
Wow.
I will say that.
Yeah, actually, I believe that. I truly believe. I think Papa John's is definitely one of my favorite ones. Yeah, definitely.
Same, 100%. I could talk pizza all day. Pizza and hockey. We'll move on to the next question though. We'll keep it streaming related for right now. What are some roadblocks you've come across along the way with streaming, and how did you overcome them?
Man, streaming has been a learning experience. I remember when I first started streaming, dude. I was working on third shift, and I remember, you get that excitement of streaming, and you want to grow. And I was doing a lot of that follow to follow.
Yeah.
A lot of follow to follow, and then streaming hours and hours and hours. And there will be some good days or some bad days. And then you started putting all the pressure on yourself. And like, I wasn't sleeping good. I was putting too much pressure while I was working. I was, my night shift started at 10 and ended at 6 in the morning. And sometimes I will come to stream, and then I will only get like 4 or 5 hours of sleep, maybe like 4 times a week. And that was taking a toll on me, man.
I bet, yeah.
And that transition, from third going to first, it happened technically like in July. So for at least 4 to 5 straight months, it was killing me, man. It was taking a toll on me. And technically, when I started school again in September or in August and transition to September is when I took that break. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna focus in school right now because this is priority, man. So,
you definitely,
that's definitely something that I decided is my health.
Yeah.
My, the way that I focus on my health and my mentality is priority. And that's been an ongoing learning experience for me, man. I'm still trying to learn a lot of new things, from streaming, but overall is always a continual perpetual learning experience for me.
Oh, 100%. And it's something that there's no way you could learn everything, all the ins and outs of it. Because the minute you learn one thing, the next thing comes up that you have to learn. Yep. And then you learn that. And then the thing you learned a while ago, well, there's something changed to it now. And now you got to relearn it again. And it's like you said, it's a never ending, you never stop learning.
Yeah, that's what content creation is about, is just always implementing new ideas of creativity. Yep. And that's something that I've been doing with, just as far as like personal development. I'm always looking to grow and just focus on trying to try different things out, yep. Because that's the best experience that you can do. So I've been doing a little Photoshop, a little After Effects, and teaching myself like new different methods where I can, just improve, overall. So as a person that wants to grow, you need to expose yourself to different scenarios in life.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I'm doing the same on the side too, like doing different Adobe courses, podcasting courses I've done now, social media course. Like I'm trying to do as much as I can with the time I'm given. Because of course, like you said, I don't want to burn myself out because I learned the hard way as well.
Right.
It's not fun.
No, I understand. Yeah. But you come a long way, man, and I'm so proud of it. I remember when I saw that message that you got partnered, I was so happy for you, man.
Oh, thank you.
So extremely happy for you, brother.
I was so nervous. That was the most nerve-wracking I think I've been.
I saw that video where you got partnered, you were shedding some tears there, man. Yeah. I was like, that's a good feeling. I could imagine, man.
Well, I was so surprised because the staff was there the whole time, and then she kept whispering me and saying like, oh, I like your doggy cam. I like this, I like that. I'm like, oh, thank you. I'm like, oh, finally they're here, because they said they would stop in and assess my streaming, and I'm like, oh, cool, they're here. And then finally she's like, oh, you should check your email in about 5 minutes, and I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like, I thought maybe she was sending me, because we were talking about stuff, and I thought, oh, she's sending me tips or something maybe. And then there it is, like the congratulations. I'm like, no way,
man.
Like you had to do this while I'm streaming.
Man, that's exactly.
Yeah,
that's amazing, man. That's amazing story, man.
I was happy. We'll move on to the next question, though. Oh, sorry, little baby girl. Next one. What is one goal of streaming you haven't reached yet, and why do you have that goal?
So yeah, as far as goals that I have for the future of streaming, for me is one of the things that I've really appreciated what you've done. You built a great community, and that's something that's really important. When you stream, is like you want to attract a good audience, friendly people that correlate with the same values and principles. And one thing that I definitely want to do is build a really good community that's going to be supportive, for specifically for me, like Halo. Halo is, I want to build a community center around Halo.
Yeah.
And it's just a game that is really small mixer. And I feel like it has great potential in the future. And to be honest, even if in the future I get partnered, which I know I will eventually.
Oh yeah, you definitely will.
but I want to do it with the game that I'm passionate about, and I'm having fun. I need to have fun. You know, like I did all those mistakes when I started streaming, playing a whole bunch of different games that I wasn't really good at, or like had too much fun. Like it was just because of the hype. You know, there were several times that I bought like a couple games. Like I'll give you a good example, like Sea of Thieves or like State of Decay.
Yeah.
Which were, you know, I bought them because thinking that, oh, wait a minute, if I buy these games, you know, maybe you could get more views and, you know, and all of that. But it doesn't work that way. Like you learn as you go. I'm like, dude, this is, and I bought those games. I played them for like maybe like 2-3 weeks, and then I stopped playing them.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's like, why do that? You know, don't buy games just because they're new and you expect that people are going to be coming and view you. It doesn't work that way. It's all about taking your time, building fresh friendships, building a community center around something that you love.
Yeah, build it so the people come to watch you, not just the game.
Exactly.
Because I've done the same thing. I bought some games in the past, and I look at on my hard drive now, and I go, I haven't touched that game since I played it that one time on stream, and I didn't have fun playing it. And you could tell I didn't have fun playing it. But yeah, I got a couple of views that day, and maybe a couple follows, but never saw them again.
Yeah, exactly. Very important, because you know, when you first started streaming, you don't know any better, right? You don't know any better.
Yeah. No. And I mean, I've still made mistakes like that, mainly because I bought a game where I thought I was going to like it, and I knew it was going to be popular, and then turned out I really didn't like it. Because it just, I won't say the game's now, but just because the hype was oversold for me. Yeah. And, you know, again, you live and learn. And now I'm really selective on the games I play, and mostly play the ones that I enjoy. Because it's like you said, you have more fun.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, if the people, you know, that are in your community, they support whatever you play. It doesn't matter what game it is, you know what I mean? And they need to be respectful of that. Everybody needs to be respectful of, you know, everybody has different preferences of what they love. So
exactly. Yeah. If you build the community properly and everything, they're, like you said, they're there to see you play. Right. And they also are going to probably like the same games you like, because, well, odds are usually you build a community, most of the time you're like-minded to a point. Right. Have same likes and dislikes anyway. Yeah. We'll move on to the next question. What is your favorite thing about streaming?
Definitely the relationships that I built, man.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I would like to be more consistent with like the people that I've connected, you know, and met throughout streaming. Yeah. You know, and I try my best, but you know, obviously working full time at school and then trying to stream. Yeah. And it's hard to, you know, to keeping constant communication with everybody. And I try, you know, even through like social media, I try to say hello to them. And I know you remember like Father Like Sonny, I still communicate. I could still communicate with him there and there just to check up on him to see how he's doing. Yep, same. So I'm trying. I'm gonna get better in the future. In the future, I have a lot of, you know, plans that are gonna give me a little more Legions times for me to connect a lot more than I would like to. And yeah, definitely that's one of the main priorities for me.
No, I love it. It's so hard to because there's so many people, so many connections made, that if you would need to stay at home and not work, not stream, just to at least spend like an hour in each person's stream or each person's life, basically. Yeah. There's so many people we've met along the way.
Yeah, it's hard to balance, you know, that dedication, you know, for everybody that comes to support you. You want to return that as well, right? But you don't want to give yourself pressure. It's like, you know, for me, like, I don't expect the, like, you know, like people, hey, I support you, you come support me. I do it unconditionally, you know. I don't want you to feel obligated. Yeah. You know, I do it because I support when I can, and if you're understanding of that, then you appreciate that, you know.
And I think that's something really a lot of people take too long to learn too, because a lot of people expect that, oh, I followed you and I watched you, now you have to follow and watch me. Well, I'll check you out, and if I like the content and if I like you as a person, I'll follow you, but you don't expect it. That's right. That to me, that's that whole, you're still in that follow for follow mentality. Right. At that point, which kind of leads into the next question, I guess. What would you say would be the number one reason most people fail to make it with streaming, and what kind of advice would you give them?
Expectations, definitely. I think, you know, a lot of people see that partnership, I think, in a way that is going to change their lives, and maybe it will, because it's definitely a big goal.
Yeah.
But I see a lot of people like putting too much pressure on themselves at the beginning, and I went through that as well.
Yep.
And it's really unnecessary, to do that to yourself, because your well-being comes first. And technically, everybody has to go at their own pace.
Yeah.
Don't think that you have to meet other people's expectations, right?
Yeah.
And technically, don't get competitively with others. Oh, why other people are growing so fast, and why am I not, growing? Everybody learns and grows differently in streaming, and you have to be understanding on that, and have peace of mind with it. And for me, that's the way I see me, streaming. There's days that I can have 2 viewers. There's days that I can have 8. There's it fluctuates, but I'm okay with it. But I'm okay with it because I love what I'm doing. I love playing what I'm doing. I love Halo, and I'm sticking with it. And that's about it, bro.
Yeah, no, I love it. That's perfect, and something everyone could learn from. Like, play what you love. Yeah. And I know it's so cliche, and everyone says, "Oh, just play what you love." But at the end of the day, it's true. Like, play what you enjoy playing.
Yeah.
If you're playing a game just thinking, "Oh, if I play, say, like Fortnite, for instance, oh, everyone watches Fortnite. If I play Fortnite, I'll get more viewers." But I hate Fortnite. Well, people are going to see that you hate Fortnite.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
You're not going to have fun. Because, like, me personally, I wouldn't say I hate Fortnite, because hate's a strong word, but I strongly dislike it. Yeah. And I don't have fun playing it. And you can see, and then my whole attitude, my whole everything changes. So I just said, you know what? I'm done with it. I'm going to cut it out, because I don't like the person I am when I stream that game.
Yeah.
And you can see some people.
It changes you. And almost you're like, why I feel forced to play this game, just so I could get more viewers? I don't even like this. Let me just turn this off.
Exactly. And then you get the problem where you do play it, and then I get spam invited all the time. I haven't played Fortnite in 4 months, and I still get people spam inviting me to Fortnite. I'm like, I don't even have the game installed anymore, bro. Like, it's gone.
I did the same thing.
I'm like, I'm done with it. It's uninstalled. Stop spamming me. Have you seen me play Fortnite in the last 4 months? No. Leave me alone.
Exactly.
Nicely, though.
No hard feelings. No hard
feelings. Like, if you like it, hey, all the power to you. I don't... Nothing against whatever you like. That's your choice.
Right.
I won't judge you. But me, I don't. But we'll move on to the next question. It's kind of a fun one. If I was to ask you at age 5 what you wanted to be when you grew up, what would you have said?
Archaeologist.
Oh, that's a nice one. Why is that?
Man. I remember growing up. I used to I forgot what movie caught my attention. I can't remember. I was really young, but anyways, I always had like interest in like traveling the world and just exploring the world and trying to go like to different places like, Egypt or Machu Picchu and find all these artifacts and dig, and just find all these amazing things that are, below earth, and it's one of those things I was like, wow, that'll be a phenomenal experience. But that was really a long time ago. I mean, that would have been definitely one of the best things that could ever happen. But hey, this life happens, and you got to move on, right?
Oh, exactly. Yeah. Which would be kind of a nice leeway or segue into the next question. If you could go back and change anything in your past, would you? And what would you change?
Oh, back in my past.
Yes. If you could erase anything at all.
I would have to say, when I was in my early 20s, I used to try to compete and compare myself to others and try to be too competitive. And I had a big ego, and I had to go through some times and tribulations, where I actually told myself, I actually got to tell you a little small story. And I think it's really important, it's just to open up, and it's a way, for me and you, even build a better relationship.
Yeah, for sure.
When I lived in Miami, Florida, I was married, and I was really going through a lot of struggles financially.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I experienced, my job at that time was going through a lot of struggles. And technically the company shut down, and I was married at that time. And we were going through a lot of times of tribulations and all of that.
Yeah.
And me as a man, obviously you feel like you have the ego of being a provider. And I couldn't do that. And that affected me in a way of like, man, I wish I could do more and give more, but I couldn't. And what that pressure that I have financially, that I stress myself out because of that specific reason, you know, and technically I got divorced because of that, and some other occasions. Yeah. And I ended up moving to North Carolina after that because the company that I was working for got bought out by this guy in North Carolina. So transitioning here, that's when the whole divorce happened. Yep. And my first year was one of the biggest waking up calls in my life, because I went for a whole year. Technically, that guy that I was working for, pretty much explained it to us. Listen, you're gonna be working for me, but don't really expect anything at the beginning, because this is a brand new company. Yeah. So the first year that I worked for him, I only got paid $15,000. Oh wow! That's how much I made. Technically, the life cost here in the United States, you know, it should be a little bit over 20. Yeah. And that was a learning experience, you know, because obviously you as an ego, as a man, you want to be able to do more. Yeah. And that was a moment in my life where I was like, I need to take action. I need to do something different. And I decided to, take a spiritual learning experience. And I had a good opportunity for me to get to know God and get to experience a really, really spiritual part of my life where I got really close to him and I have faith. Yeah. And technically when that happened, a lot of good things started happening. And then I actually got a job in a company that's called HondaJet. Okay. And technically I'm a QC, quality control. Yeah. And that's technically what I do right now. So that what I'm going to get to that story is that sometimes we have an ego of being financially stable. And that for me, that transition in my life was be like, you need to accept, you know, the issues that you went through and just move on, get past it. And there's always going to be something greater in the future. Yep. You got to be optimistic. You got to be optimistic about life, you know, and I put in the work, man. I've been doing great at this job. Doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to be doing this forever, but I've come a long way, man. I've come a long way.
No, that's good. That's an awesome story to hear. I mean, again, it comes down to like checking your ego, checking your pride at the door, and knowing what your limitations are in any scenario, really. Whether it be providing for your family or going to the gym and lifting too much weight.
Yeah. No, definitely. That's what I tell everybody. I think you seen this post on Instagram. From every failure, there's a lesson, right? Yep. That's it. If you have that mindset, you know, there's going to be continued growth for sure.
Oh, exactly. I even go a step further and say there's no such thing as failure. It's just a lesson learned.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. It might feel like a failure, but you learned something from it, and now you're going to go on and complete whatever it is you were trying to do.
That's correct.
Just might do it a different way now.
Right.
Yeah. No, I love it. All your posts I love on Instagram. They're just so encouraging.
I try to be, you know, consistent as much as I can, and that's one of the, you know, the things that I read a lot of books. And throughout the last 5 years, that has helped me increase a mindset of being positive, no matter what the circumstances are. You know, there's always going to be negativity in your surroundings, but you choose. At the end of the day, you're going to choose if you feel about the situation, if you're going to let people suck that energy out of you, or you're going to control, you know, your emotions. Yep. It's just a simple choice.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I found myself really since I started streaming, like cutting out a lot of that negativity in my life and stepping away from friends that I've had for a long time. And I've tried talking to them and being like, hey, you know, you're a little negative sometimes. And they kind of laugh at it and, oh, yeah, whatever. And it's like, no. But seriously, like, I don't want to be around that anymore. I think you could be a little more. Some of them changed, and some of them, and I mean, they might be putting on a show for me when I'm around, which, whatever, to me, that's fine. At least they're trying. And some were straight up like rude about it, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm sorry, but slowly you're fading out of our family. And I found it's even helped in my family life with my wife and my parents, and it's just cutting out that negativity and bringing in the positivity is so much better.
I like that saying that goes by, don't let your friends choose you, you choose your own friends, right?
Yeah, exactly. 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
No, I love it. We'll get on to the next one here. I kind of like this one here. What are some of your off-stream hobbies, and how did you get into them?
One of my main ones right now is I'm doing a lot of cardio. I've always been a physical guy. I always like sports. I grew up playing soccer, basketball, and I always like physical challenges.
Yep.
And one thing that I was never really fond of is running.
Yeah.
And this year I decided, you know what? I'm going to try something different that I've never done in my life. And every week, what I'm doing is I'm challenging myself to run an extra mile and to increase the time. And every week that I'm doing this, do you see the results? I'm getting the results. So that's one of them. I actually like to, another thing that I'm really fond of, I like reading books.
Yep.
I think French what I told you it is, but yeah, me and her had a few conversation about books, and I call it the book guru.
I keep telling her, I'm like, you got to set up a book club. I'm like, I'm sure you get enough people, and then you meet up on stream once a week and do a co-stream and talk about the book.
Yeah,
people would watch that. I would watch that.
For sure. I wouldn't mind it, and I don't know how many books she's read. I think more than 5,000, something like that.
Oh, she's at, last I checked, I think she was at like 30 some books for the year so far.
Oh my goodness. That's bananas, man.
Well, she read like a book a day last year. It worked out to like almost 300 and some books.
Oh my God, that's amazing. That's amazing. For you to have that concentration and that focus, it takes a skill. For me, it's hard. What I do, I spend a lot of time at Starbucks when I go do my homework.
Yep.
And I just focus and zone out. I just read through it for about an hour or two. So yeah, that's one of my other hobbies that I like to do. And probably another one that I've actually I've done probably about 2-3 times. I've done like several Spartan races.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Spartan races are really challenging.
Yeah. I've done the Tough Mudder. I haven't done the Spartan race yet. Yeah, Tough Mudder was tough. It rained the whole day. It was not fun.
That's brutal, man.
Yeah.
That's brutal. I tell you what, it's mostly about endurance more than anything else. And obviously, you don't need to run. If you don't want to, you could pace yourself. But the challenges are like the physical challenges. They make you actually, climb up with on a mountain with a bucket full of rocks. That was pretty challenging. Climbing over an 8-foot wall. That was challenging. Little things like that tests your mind physically, right?
Yeah. It's more than just endurance. Like you said, it's testing you physically and mentally, because you got to figure out a way to get over that wall, and then you got to use your physical well-being to get over the wall as well. Yeah.
And that first one I did was a sprint race, and that was a 5-mile race, and I'm gonna do one on July 27th. That's gonna be a 10-mile.
Ooh, nice. So,
that's gonna be brutal, man.
Yeah, and that's gonna be a sprint race. That's not like a marathon.
That's actually it's called. I think that's a beast.
Oh, the beast. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's a beast.
That's gonna be fun.
The sprint, the beast, and this. I'm sorry, no, that's a super. That's a super.
Oh, super.
And
okay.
After the super comes the beast. Yeah. That's
how long is the beast?
I think that was 15 miles.
Oof.
Yeah,
that's a lot. That's like
I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it this year. I'll probably wait for that one next year. I'm still training. I'm still training for the super.
And that's what I see all the time. You posting your times on Instagram as well. That's what you're training for.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice. Love it.
The reason why I'm doing that is because the last time I did the sprint race, I cramped up at the end of the race. So
Oh, that's the worst. You gotta eat more spaghetti the night before.
yeah, dude, it was terrible. I cramped up for like 10 minutes at the end of the race, but I finished it. I waited for like 10, 15 minutes, drank a lot of water, had a banana, and then I finished it. So
Oh, that's good though. At least you didn't give up. You completed it.
awesome. Yeah, I had to. to.
Oh yeah, I bet. Yeah. We'll move on to the next question here. What are 3 things you value most in a person or about a person?
Honesty. That's one of the things that you build trust, right?
Yeah.
Communication, and have communication is key to like anything in life, relationships.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that when you focus in having consistent communicating with each other and being open, the things are going to get easier.
Yeah.
And another obviously is just having love for each other, unconditionally. Don't expect anything in return. It's like a lot of, you got to do this for me and I do this for you. It shouldn't be like that. It's just love unconditionally, and just give without expecting.
Yeah, no, I love it. And I think that's where integrity comes into play too, is just don't do things to expect something. Do it not because you want to, but because it's the thing to do.
Yeah.
No, I love that. But perfect answer. I like to no hesitation whatsoever. Perfect.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Next question, move on. It's kind of a fun one. If you could have any superpower at all, what would it be?
Oh, shoot. You know what? Professor Xavier.
Oh, yeah. Ability to read minds and control people.
Read minds, baby. Yeah, read minds, baby.
And what would you use it for?
You know what? For me, I'll be like, how can I help out people?
Yeah.
That's they're going through some issues. How can I help out people?
Yeah.
That's what I will use it for sure.
Oh, it's perfect.
Figure out a way where I can make their lives easier. Yeah.
We were talking about it too the other day about mind control for a few of us, and we were saying like it'd come in really handy too with certain professions. Like if you were a firefighter or even a paramedic, and you come up onto the scene of an unconscious victim, right. Well, you could just read their mind and you could see what happened. Okay, well, they fell off that ladder over there and hit their head right there, and then okay, now we know what the mechanism of injury is. Now we know how to treat it, and like it'd be so beneficial to help so many people.
Yeah,
in so many situations.
It's crucial. And one of those things that you always want to figure it out how to make things easier for everybody. And that's one thing that I told myself is like ask the questions to people to see and be open. Just be open-minded and understand that they have different perspectives of thinking.
Yep.
And just have that approach, and you can solve a lot of problems by doing that, man.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Not everyone's going to agree on everything, but at least you can agree that you're not going to agree.
Yes.
Is where I think everyone needs to start.
Yeah.
That could be a whole show on its own.
Yeah. Broad conversation to talk about, man.
Yeah, huge. Next question. It's kind of a little bit of a deep one. What would you consider to be your deepest fear?
Man, deepest fear. I think I've never had fear for like nothing in specific, but not for me right now, like the way that I feel right now.
Yeah. Not
going for the dream and the goal that I have, which is opening a nonprofit organization.
Yeah.
I've been planning this out for the past year. I have a friend of mine that he works in a foster home, helping out kids. And technically, I intend to work with him later on this year.
Okay.
And learn about nonprofit organizations. So right now, I'm studying business administration right now.
Oh, cool.
And that's the main reason why, because I want to open my own nonprofit organization and I want to make an impact in the world. And I feel like if I don't dive in right now, I'm alone. I don't have any commitment, so it's time for me to just dive right in.
Yeah, perfect time.
And do it. And if technically the way I feel like, what's the purpose of life, right? It's like you didn't do what you felt like your heart was telling you to do, right? So
Yeah. No, I like it. That's awesome.
yeah.
Next question is where'd it go here? It's kind of a fun one again. If a genie was to grant you 3 wishes, what would your wishes be? I've only had a few people actually answer all 3. A lot of them get stuck on 2 wishes.
Oh man, genie.
Yeah. Will Smith coming in hot with that those wishes.
Oh, yeah. I heard about that. About that. Let me see. This is because I'm not a person that like wants that instant gratification.
Yeah.
I've always had the mentality of like earning everything. Man, but I would definitely, I guess I could say, for the genie to provide me financially so I could help out my family, so they make sure they're stable.
Yeah. No, that's a good one. That was like one of my first choices too.
That's definitely one of them. Let's see what else I can do. Oh, man. Dude, I cannot think of anything else, to be honest. Like I'm not a person that is needy, man. Dude, yeah, I can't give you any more answers. To be honest.
That's fine. I mean, really, after you have that, what else do you really need? I mean, once you're financially stable, you can pretty much do whatever you want, go after what you want.
Yeah, I'm not materialistic at all, man. Like I only buy what I need.
Yeah.
I'm a minimalist, dude. Let me just put it that way. Minimalist. I try not to overconsume. No,
yeah, that's perfect. Yeah. That's something I keep trying to do, and for the most part, I only buy what I need or what will help me with certain things. Yeah. But other than that, I kind of keep it minimal as well. I don't really need much because I don't really do much.
Right.
Next question. It's kind of a fun one. What would the title of your memoir be if you were to write a memoir?
Let me see. Keep making a difference with passion.
Love it. Keep making a difference with passion.
Making a difference with passion.
Yeah.
If we do everything with passion, I truly believe you can make the most impact.
Yep. 100%.
Yeah.
The more passion you have to put into it, the more energy and focus you're going to put into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I've seen some things where I'm like, oh, I want to do this. And I start doing it, but then I find I don't have the passion to do it. And then it fizzles out. And then I miss deadlines. And then next thing I know, I'm like, I just wasted $400 on this course that sounded like a good idea, but I had no passion for it once I started getting into it.
Exactly. Yeah, I went through that too, man. I mean, when I started going to college, I started doing, aviation management, and I switched to business administration, and I took 2 classes that I didn't need, and I wasn't passionate. I really wasn't passionate about it. So, but that's it. Hey, move on. Leave it in the past. You have eyes ahead. Don't look back.
Exactly. I learned from it. I learned I didn't want to do home inspection for a living and moved on.
Right.
I learned a lot from the course I did when I did it.
Right.
That I didn't know before, but I learned that I didn't want to do that anymore.
Got you. Yeah.
Last question. It's kind of a fun one. I don't think I hear you swear very often, so I don't know if what your answer will be, but it doesn't have to necessarily be a curse word. But what's your favorite curse word or go-to word when you're raging at a game?
I'm not a big cursor.
Yeah.
But if in English, I barely curse, but in Spanish, it's a different story, my friend.
Yeah. Oh, I bet. Yeah.
but in English, it's usually shit. I actually posted a video. I was playing Legendary Campaign last week, and I got killed. And at the end, I was like, "Oh shoot!" But I didn't say shit, So I've always tried to catch myself. I don't want to say any profanities during my streams. I mean, there and there might slip.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I'm pretty good about it.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I try my hardest to do the same, especially because my son watches a lot. Yeah. I just want to have, even though I was in the military for 10 years, so he's used to hearing me curse and swear around my buddies and that. And it's something even then I've curbed a lot since streaming. So even if I drop one, I'll be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, Elijah," and he'll be like, "Dad, I've heard you swear before. I'm like, yeah, I know, but
millions of times. I'm already used to it.
Yeah.
I know. And he was going to be like, I know, I don't need to say it.
yeah, exactly. And he's pretty good for it. He knows. He'll drop a few sometimes, but like, I mean, like very rare. And it's usually like if he's really like over that tipping point of anger and pain. And at that point, I'm kind of like, okay, well, I understand, because I would be saying the same thing at his age if I was in that much pain or if I was that angry or what was going on. But then we still kind of like tell him, what you said was wrong. And he's like, yeah, I know, I'm so sorry. Am I grounded? No, you're not grounded. Just don't do it in when you're not angry, or not when you're not angry. I shouldn't say that way, but just don't do it in common talk.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure, once he starts getting a little older and starts arguing with his friends, it might slip. But as long as he doesn't say around you, right?
Yeah, as long as he doesn't say around us or to us is my biggest thing. He swears towards us, or like me, his mom, his stepmom, his stepdad. No, that's not happening.
There's going to be consequences.
Yeah, and he knows that. You better know it. If you're listening, Elijah, you better know it. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have. Is there anything I didn't ask you that I should have asked you, or anything else you want to talk about before we say our goodbyes?
Dude, I have one question for you, brother.
Oh, sure, shoot.
How do you get Mystic? I never had the opportunity to ask you that question.
Oh, like how I came up with the name?
Yeah.
It started in the fire hall I was working at, and we were watching one of those tattoo shows where it's kind of like I can't remember what the name of the show was, but they were trying to become tattoo artists, like professional artists.
Okay. And
there's this one guy on it, and his name was Mystical Mike. And as soon as he came on, right away, everyone's like started calling me Mystical Mike and, razzing me and whatnot, because my name's Mike and this guy's name's Mike. So obviously we're the same person. And it kind of stuck. And they would razz me all the time, and they would start getting clips of him, and they would like play it over the PA system in the morning, like to wake me up. They'd be like, "Oh, Mystical Mike, you're wanted in the alarm room." And so then I ran into it. I'm like, I'll just dive head on, because I could be called a lot worse. Yeah. So then I just dove head on. I had
extremely unique.
It is, yeah. And I made my gamer tag Mystical Mike, but I had to spell it like all like with K and all weird just to get it. Right. And then I was Mystical Mike for a good year and a half almost. And then I joined the clan, and the clan I joined, I had to put their clan tag in front of my name, so Mystical Mike wouldn't work. So then I was like, well, I'll go with Mystic Mike, TLP Mystic Mike. Yeah. And then when I started streaming, I dropped the clan tag because I was like, well, I don't want the clan tag in my branding. And then it just Mystic Mike stuck, and that's where
it took off. And it took off technically.
Yeah. But it's funny because it's like some people ask, they're like, well, your stream theme is hockey and dogs, but your name's Mystic Mike. I'm like, yeah, it makes no sense. It is what it is. I'm not going to change it now.
listen, blunt honesty, right, my friend? Blunt honesty.
Exactly.
And it just rhymes perfect, man. I love it.
It does. It goes perfect together. Mystic Mike.
Love it, brother.
Thank you. So yeah, if you want to drop any of your socials and your Mixer page, and then, I'll also link it into the description. Sorry, I was just looking at the camera real quick. One of my dogs was jumping at the fence.
No problem, man. So yeah, you guys can find me on mixer.com/I_encourage. And technically on my social medias is the same, except Twitter is an L_encourage, just because obviously somebody took that I away,
Yeah, I was gonna say that's why I was trying to tag you today, and I couldn't for the life of me, so I just went to your page and highlighted and copied your actual tag, and I'm like, oh, it's an L, not an I. There we go.
Yeah, dude, I had to mix it up because obviously I'm trying to make my name, consistent. Yeah. And I, as far as abbreviations, I was like, let me just mix it to something that rhymes better and that I like. So that's why I switched it up again.
No, I like it. I like that you added the I in front of it because before you were just known as encourage.
Yeah.
And then now you added the I. It's perfect because it suits you perfectly because you do encourage a lot of people. I mean, hell, you encouraged me to actually dive into broadcast or podcasting. Like I was on the fence, and then when you sent that thing, I was like, you know what? Let's do it. What's the worst that can happen?
Yeah, man. Trust me, dude. I actually so glad that you did it, man, because, I plan to do it in the future. So I might come, for some tips from you.
Oh, for sure. I'll, I'm always here to help anyone and everyone. So I don't keep any secrets, because what's the point? Like I always say, no crabs in the bucket. I want us all to rise together.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the way it should be, my man. That's exactly how it should be.
Excellent. Well, again, thank you very much for being on the show. And it was awesome finally getting to talk to you I can't say in person, but at least back and forth with a voice instead of a chat.
Oh man, listen, it was about time. It was about time. It was bound to happen.
Yeah, no,
and I'm
definitely.
glad we did. And this won't be the last time. I know it won't be the last time.
No, definitely not. No, agree.
We're gonna
100%.
connect. We'll play some Halo whenever you feel comfortable. No pressure, man.
Yeah, no, I'd say probably once the last visitor is my mom in April for about 3 weeks, and then probably after that is probably when we'll be able to get into somewhat of a schedule and play. Because right now it's everything's like off the cuff. It's baby's sleeping. Can I go stream for 2 hours, babe? Yep. Okay, cool. And then I'll go stream for a couple hours, and then or I'll bring the baby down with me while she's sleeping so my wife can sleep, or do something like that.
Yeah. No, you got a little pressure on right now, and that's important because family's always first. So whenever
100%.
you're ready, man. I don't want to put pressure with anybody.
No pressure whatsoever. I learned a long time ago the hard way that family comes first. Military taught me that the hard way.
There you go.
Yeah. So thank you very much again, and peace out, everyone. Thanks for listening.
Thank you, brother.
This concludes Behind the BS, Behind the Broadcasting Software with Mystic Mike. Remember to subscribe, like, and leave a comment if you enjoyed this podcast or have any tips or questions for future guests or myself. Remember to email your questions for future guests or just general questions of how you could be a part of Behind the BS. Email me at behindthebs@mysticmikelive.com. Peace and love.